Ptolemy VI was 6 years of age when he came to the throne in 180 BCE until 164 BCE. His mother was co-regent with him for 5 years and died. He was 11 years of age in 168 BCE. Now we've got some more bad behaviour. 175 BCE, he married his sister Cleopatra II. He was co-regent with his brother, who later was to become Ptolemy VIII. Believe it or not, there was a 6th Syrian war in 170 BCE. What was wrong with these people always wanting to fight? Didn't they sit down and work out the balance sheet? You know, if you have an army, you've got to pay them. Okay, and then the war's not going to go on for 1 year or 2 years. It could go on for 4 or 5. You've still got to pay those soldiers. You win the land. How many years is it going to take to come out even? So this to me is more about ego than it is about gathering resources, because the soldiers they were employing were Greek mercenaries, and they didn't care if you won or lost as long as they got paid. And really, if you think about a soldier's life, there's a lot of rest periods in between battles. So, you know, from my point of view, looking back at this timeline, I just think they're completely nuts. Outside of Egypt, Rome was at war with Macedonia. It was the Third Macedonian War that started 171 BCE. Ptolemy VI sued for peace, and Egypt became a client kingdom of the Seleucid Empire. When Alexandria heard that they now became a client kingdom of the Seleucid Empire, they rioted. Ptolemy's 6th brother was declared Pharaoh of Alexandria, Ptolemy VIII, in 170 BCE until 163 BCE. Ptolemy VI was taken by the Seleucid Empire king to Memphis. So there were 2 pharaohs in Egypt at the same time. Crazy idea. Rome stepped in and demanded that the king of the Seleucid Empire withdraw his troops, which he did in 168 BCE. So you got 2 brothers and a sister ruling Egypt together in different parts of Egypt. Crazy. So this family, it's all about plotting. And in 164 BCE, Ptolemy VIII expelled his brother, his older brother, Ptolemy VI, and Cleopatra II, threw them out of the country. He had popular support from the people. They travelled to Rome to try and draw out support, but failed to do so. So they ended up on the island of Cyprus. Then a year later, in 163 BCE, Ptolemy VIII was expelled to Libya. Ptolemy VI and Cleopatra II returned to Egypt. So this was their second time crack at the country, 163 BCE, and ruled together until 145 BCE, roughly 18 years of stability. The younger brother, Ptolemy VIII, he was in Libya. Rome stepped in and said, well, you know, he needs to rule the island of Cyprus as well. So the Romans were looking at Cyprus for a foothold. And Ptolemy VI and Cleopatra II agreed to that. In 146 BC, Ptolemy VI invaded Syria. What was he thinking? You know, is he getting lotus flowers and defusing the drug into wine and drinking it and thinking that that Egypt's a major power? Because that's what they use lotus flowers for, a real powerful drug. Or was he just daydreaming? I just can't work it out. Anyway, he won a victory in Syria and captured land. He returned to Egypt, and in 145 BC he died. And all the lands he captured returned to the Seleucid Empire's hands again. So what was the point of that? All those resources went into that campaign. Yes, he captured it, but you had to stay there. You had to garrison your troops, and again you had to pay them. But no, as soon as he left, the garrisons revolted. The Seleucid Empire walked back in, and boom, All that territory is lost. What a waste of time. And all the people that died for these individuals, they're nuts. You can see I'm not a fan of this Ptolemaic dynasty, can't you? During the reign of Ptolemy VI, status of the Jews was raised. Jews were allowed to serve in the military. They had their own quarter in Alexandria, and they were allowed to build a temple to their god. In 160 BCE, Ptolemy VI invaded Kush. He claims it's the whole of Kush. I've invaded Kush. More likely, it was the 12-mile stretch between the first and second cataract. Ptolemy had 5 children with his sister. Bad behaviour or what? 2 boys and 3 girls. His eldest son, Ptolemy, died, unfortunately. Wow, gonna have kids with your sister, you've got to expect that, haven't you? In 152 BCE. Cleopatra Thea married in succession to 3 different kings in the Seleucid Empire. Man. Anyway, she didn't mind as long as she stayed queen, I suppose. His second son, Ptolemy, would become the Ptolemy of the 7th. His second son, Ptolemy, would become Ptolemy the 7th. He died in 145 BCE, where he probably was murdered. His daughter Bernice was born in 160 BCE. She died in 133 BCE. On the death of Ptolemy VI, have a guess what? Ptolemy VIII returned to Egypt as co-ruler with his sister Cleopatra II. And why not? He married his niece, who became Cleopatra III. I'd like to thank Nick the Cat for allowing me to use his theme music from the Cleopatras in this video series of the Ptolemaic kings of Egypt, and the credits are on the next page. Thanks for watching. Press your subscribe button, thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.